think the first advice I'd have for anyone that actually wanted to be a CCA is do it. Just take the exam. I think there's far too many people that are so worried about the exam that they don't see the possible benefits of it. And so in my mind, I think the first thing I would encourage someone who wants to be a CCA is sit down for the exam. Find out what's on it. Then when you go back the second year, if perhaps you don't pass it, you know exactly what's on it. You know what to prepare for. I think the second piece is if you do pass it that first time, the benefits are endless. There's a lot of opportunity for people in the industry who understand agronomy. Over the last several years, the pure salesman in the ag industry has started to drift away, and everyone needs agronomics in order to be able to pursue their particular career path. And I just think that there's so many benefits that you have to just sit down and do it. I think that's the best advice I could give anyone with wanting to pursue their CCA. I definitely think that there's a couple customers that come to mind that having been CCA certified has certainly helped me with that relationship. One that comes to mind for me certainly is an individual that had a lot of challenges with his fertility program. And by sitting down with him and being able to bring some of the resources that I had gathered at a couple of the CCA meetings I had attended, I was able to help him, put him on the right path from a fertility standpoint, and his crops have improved quite a bit over the last few years. And I think that that's a direct relationship to the things I had learned at the CCA conference and were able to share with him, and he was able to implement. First, I'd ask him why that was the case. I think any time that you work with a professional, I think it's important to know that they have all the training that they need to advise you in a professional and ethical manner. And I think that for us as agronomists, that CCA certification is the stamp of endorsement. The industry says this is a person who understands what they're doing, understands that they need to continue to get education throughout their career, and that provides us with that type of stamp of approval, if you will. First, I'd ask them why they want to drop it. To me, the educational piece of it, being able to sit down with fellow CCAs, learning what the most up-to-date information is, that's very hard to get. Even with social media and the internet and all those things, there's no place other than the CCA newsletter and many of the meetings that you go to that you can see industry experts in 2 days in one setting, in one location, to be able to gain all that information. I think I'd probably ask the individual who was thinking about dropping, where are you going to get that information and how are you going to provide what you're going to miss out to your customers? I don't know that I've necessarily got a specific story. I think probably it's bigger for me. I think the relationships that I've built through the CCA program, whether it's at the annual meetings or other things that go on where other CCAs are at, I think it's the networking. I think it's the things I've learned from other CCAs that I've been able to apply and use with growers in the field. That's really where I think the biggest benefit for me is. I don't know that I've necessarily got one specific story that I can really share with you that I think makes that much of a difference. I think it's just the community aspect of the CCA certification. I decided to become a CCA because I felt like it was the next step in my agronomic education. After graduating from Purdue, I went to work in ag retail. I'd gotten my agronomy degree. I was working actively, and I felt like it was just the next step as a professional agronomist. I needed to get that certification. So I took the test, was able to pass it, and have been certified ever since. And I think it's an important part for me personally of being a professional agronomist.